Alright, welcome back. Hour 2, episode Trey of the Harmony role-playing.
Are you absolutely certain that you're not muted?
I am 100%. All my volumes are correct. I've got this shit down.
He always says
Yay!
he saves the mute for the end of the session when everyone's like tired of hearing his voice online. Yeah, and then it's guess what the DM is saying.
No, he's an asshole. He's not that thoughtful.
Kinda. That might be true. I don't know. I'm a nice guy.
Unlike Thomas,
Wow.
who's a dick.
Everybody totally backed me up on that one, didn't they? Woo!
Hey, it's not completely water. It was half and half, okay?
Just like the bandits, you're
If
very
I
nice.
drink it and I don't die, it's not worth drinking.
Alright.
It should just be like XXX unfiltered corn whiskey. That's what real liquor tastes like.
Alright, let's just get right back into it. Before you do anything else, I want Bex to make a charisma check with advantage, please.
Oh,
Or-
hey,
yeah,
I
with
have
advantage.
that stat.
Yep.
Roll charisma. Any mods to it or just advantage?
Just advantage.
I'm gonna hero point that because I am Bex, Mountain of the Sea. And also,
Alright,
it's abysmal to see that on my best stat.
that's pretty bad. With advantage.
Wow.
So you're adding a d6 roll. There you
I'll
go.
take that.
So that's
I'll
a
take my
14.
14.
Alright, so here's what happens. You go to hand it to the first guard, right? You're handing out these tankards, right? After you do you swig first, or you hand them out then swig?
I'm handing them out, and
Okay.
the hero point would be me flexing my sailor tattoos and my exile tattoos.
Well, one of them you think kind of recognizes that tattoo, but then at the moment where he's like starting to say something, you hand him the tankard, and he just like forgets what he was about to say, and he drinks it and thanks you. Good day, dwarf.
And I shoot after I pass out all four. I shoot it back. You said it's refreshing, but
Right.
it's not alcohol.
Well, I guess I misunderstood. Yeah, I guess
It's half alcohol.
yeah, I understand now. Yeah, I just didn't read the whole thing. That's on me. I misread the message.
So there's some alcohol in it.
Yeah, so it's completely watered down though. So
All right. So here's how it happens, just so everyone can get the visual. I pound it back and I stop about halfway through. It just like starts to spill over the side as I quit swallowing it. I swish what's in my mouth around, still going. I look at Thomas, and I just spit, just like the entirety of it. Take the tankard and throw it at Thomas. And in my most creative dwarven, I will go on and on about how you take the simplest pleasures in life and turn them into overly complicated religious hibbity-jibbity.
Hibbity-jibbity.
Hibbity-jibbity. And I
Write
just
that
start to throw curse words at you and the candle god.
Hibbity.
And about how I will, I'll hex your third child's left pinky toe and all sorts of random, angry, non-sequential bullshit.
Hibbity-jibbity.
And this will go on for the foreseeable future.
Nice.
I'd like to roll intimidation for the random citizens next to me.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll. Let's see if they're frightened. Well, with advantage again, only for a different reason than the last time. This time just because you're a blue, tattooed, ugly-ass dwarf.
I'll take a 23.
Ugly, yet somehow charismatic. Ugly is all in perspective, right? For a dwarf.
I don't think I'm ugly. I think I'm attractively unique.
Okay, there you go. If people were into tattooed-faced, weird-haired...
Smurf mixed martial arts wrestlers.
Yes. You're like a miniature Chuck Liddell with a tattoo on your face. No.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm basically standing,
He's the Iceman.
roaring hatred at Thomas, pointing and cussing away in Dwarven.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely a few people shy away from the cart. Like they're just normally walking like right along the rest of the caravan, but then when they get to your cart, they're just like, wide berth, out of the way. Don't go near that dwarf. Also, you're not steering the cart that great, so there's that.
I got like the left hand, but I'm speaking with my hands.
Right. So the horses are kind of like they're not sure if they're supposed to go straight or if you want them to turn a little bit or if you're trying to veer them to the left.
I would point out that since I can talk to them, I've gotten much better at driving carts.
This is true. That would help.
So if they go there, I just like yell at them and be like, "Go straight, damn it!" and go right back to yelling at Thomas.
Okay.
But that's the main reason that Bex has figured out how to drive. But I just tell the horse where to go,
All right.
whether it listens.
So you guys, Barlow steers the carts. He says it's not very far into town. You get in. The first thing you notice in the town is this main square area right inside the gates. Is a pretty bustling area. There's a lot of street markets set up where people were selling, kind of like where you were last at in Crystal Gate. There's lots of fruit stands and vegetable stands. People selling kind of okay clothing and day-to-day necessities, things like that. Cart repair shop is pretty prominent on this section of the town, but behind that, in the backdrop, further up into the hill, you see layer and layer of just pretty standard human homes. Nothing like, no extravagant designs. There's no like big steepled houses until you get pretty far into the background, you know, maybe 6 or so city blocks, and then that's where the main buildings are. You can tell there's like a couple churches, one of them most likely to Lumiere because it kind of resembles like a Catholic cathedral in architecture, with big stained glass windows and, you know, open roof spirals on the sides.
Excuse me.
And but as you make your way towards the blacksmith who you're supposed to be delivering your goods to, you notice that the town is, even though it's really busy, it's kind of quiet. Like, not just because of the sheer population difference of what you've been used to lately in Crystal Gate. So, you know, to Tirnel specifically in his life, it's really loud, but not nearly as loud as what he's been used to lately. So,
Wait, what is loud?
just the general loud, you know, the ambient chatter of the citizens is it's louder than you're used to in your home life, but it's not nearly as loud as it was in Crystal Gate. It's almost tolerable to somebody of your background, and Philly also, really, even though it's not, you know, you're used to the noise of the mines, same as Bex, but in your more recent life, this is a tame city compared to Crystal Gate. Eventually you make your way to the smithy, where this is the wrong. I'm being horrible with being on the right page for my notes today. Daclin. Yes. So, pardon me. You get to the smithy. It's this big open smith setup. There's a lot of weird looking machinery that you've never seen in your life. Like, you've, especially Philly and Bex and even Tirnel to a similar lesser degree, you've seen a lot of smiths. You've seen a lot of forges.
Right.
This stuff is unique. There's contraptions with weird levers where it's all intended to be a part of an automated process once these crystals are imbued into it. And as soon as your wagon gets close, you see a pretty gruff half dwarf. So
Failure.
half dwarf, not in the way. Don't think dark sun, not a mole, whatever you want to call him. Not that, but more the traditional. He's what, maybe 4'7". He's got some of the stoutness features of a dwarf, but he's got his face is a little more human, you know, straight shaped, less square, and he's got the doesn't have the full beard. He's got like a patch of it, kind of like mine, only full grown in on the sides. Mine don't fucking grow over here, and he comes up and he's already like, I thought you'd be here yesterday. I need to get started immediately. I have orders for days. Hey. Put the crystals over there, and he points to an area, and he's like, let's get this done. And he's like, you two, and you see a couple of, well, probably apprentices. One of them's a dwarf, and another a hill dwarf, most likely, and the other a kind of a skinny looking human lad, maybe 15. And he's like, help him get it done now. I've got to have it started. And Barlow's like, hey, he starts apologizing for being late, even though you guys are right on time, really. He gets out and starts directing traffic, unload that stuff. And Declan kind of looks at him and is, what happened to you, boy? Why are you blue? And I'm mixing. I'm going from like Jamaican to almost Irish. I don't know where this is going.
Why you blue, man? Why you blue?
Laddie, why you blue, man?
That's pushcart driver out of Jamaica.
There you go.
Full running.
Are you dead, man?
Bex is gonna try and carry way too much shit at once.
Oh god, no! Please don't.
So I'm gonna roll athletics. Yes. And I'm gonna hero point it for. I'm just like so.
Okay.
This is me being really pissed at Thomas.
Oh, at Thomas. Okay.
Yeah. So 14.
19.
19. I have a 19. I just pick up a shitload of stuff.
Okay. Do you? You're pretty strong, right? And your strength like a 17.
Yeah, my strength
or
is
8.
18.
Yeah. So you're, you know, you got like 2 full crates, and these are pretty heavy crates on each shoulder. You're just like moving up. You're like, and then you got the quandary of how to put them down.
As he walks by me, I'm like, see how strong that blessed beer makes you?
I have now figured out how to put them down.
Oh god, no.
I deposit 1 to Thomas, and I wait for him to. Do you like grab it? I'm just like dropping it off on you, Thomas.
Nice.
Do you grab it or whatever?
I'll try, yeah.
Alright, so once you've got the first one well secured, I'll mutter something to the effect, let's see your candle god carry this, and I'll give you the second box, and go back for more.
Alright, make a strength check.
Yeah, this
Don't
isn't
drop
gonna
the
work.
boxes, Thomas. Don't
We're
drop the
going
boxes.
down, son.
That nat one coming up. Oh, the 5! Pray to your god, Thomas. Pray to your god.
My 10 strength isn't going to cut it.
5. Alright.
You do have 6 hero points.
At this
he's
point,
weak.
I'm going to see Thomas Tirnel's struggling, and he's going to go there and help him out.
Oh,
Alright.
that's very nice of you. One of
Make-
you sticking together.
Make a dex check to try and get there before the top box tumbles off the top.
Oh, really? Hey.
You should be good.
Don't fail this one.
Yeah, me. Nailed it. Sure.
You should be fine. You got this. Yeah,
Boom.
see,
He does got it.
you got this.
Yeah, a 17 Bex is gonna be.
There you go. Yeah, so he drops the first box. Tom's like, that's not so bad. And then he drops the second box, and he's like, tilts back, tilts forward. The top box starts to fall off. Tirnel, you come over, you hold it up against him, and then you pull it off and take it under your own, into your own arms. No problem.
Right.
Like, man, you are quick. I mean, like one of those mythical gnomes. You just
Oh,
swooped right in here and grabbed that.
A mythical gnome.
I heard
I
they're
put,
really
I
fast.
put the box back. No, I'm kidding.
I heard they're really fast. If they even exist, is that what you were going to finish that sentence
Yep.
with?
I'm fascinated by what's going on in the smithy forge area, and I'm just trying to figure out to see if I can figure out anything.
Make an intelligence check. Let's see how much you know about this newfound steam machinery.
Damn girl.
Oh wow!
One smart
She
barbarian.
knows.
You kind of figure out. You've seen sort of similar stuff with the dwarven mines. That you need to use some pulleys and things like that to help move large quantities up the shafts. So it's the same basic principles, but these are clearly intended to be powered by something other than, the pulleys you're used to are crank, right? Whereas these are meant to be powered by some non-human source, and not water either, right? That's the thing you've experienced before is, water tumble, through.
Not too much down in the mine. That would flood out some of the mines.
Well, there's natural streams underground and stuff that can be used for things like that. But yeah, this is clearly intended to be some sort of magical power source or something of that nature, which you've already been told basically that. But you kind of see how, the press is meant to, like, after you've heated the blade or the metal or whatever, it's to help shape it, take out the hammering. One of them is a hammer press, so instead of someone having to repeatedly use a hammer on it, they can put it under that, and it'll shape
I'm
the
going to try to
blades.
I'm going to attempt to impress the half dwarf with my intelligent questions about what I've observed.
Oh yeah, he's keen to explain his inventions to anybody who seems to have an aptitude to understand the complex machinery that he's put together here. The first of its kind is like, if these crystals work the way the wizards say they're going to, it's going to change the world. I'm going to revolutionize the industry. I'm going to be the first ever mass producer of weapons, armor, metal. People are going to have metal on their houses. That's what I'm going to do for the world.
That would seem a poor choice in an electrical storm.
No, it'll be fine. You just put one of those.
What's electrical?
That's a good point. Let's back that up.
Fine, in a lightning storm.
There you go.
I've had an uncle who was holding his axe up during a lightning storm, and he got struck 4 times.
What you gonna do in them there angry sky storms?
Nice. Them sky storms. Mm-hmm. Bex knows all about those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is very happy to explain his ideas of what's going to happen once all this magic stuff happens. But Tilda kind of interrupts, and she brings over her ledger, and she's like, we need to have you sign here and here and here, and also here, and we need to inspect everything and make sure it's all to your satisfaction. And then she starts to mention, she's like, but I don't know what you want to do about the... Nope. No? Oh. Just, yeah, sign those. Are you muted?
Yeah, I
Yep.
can't hear.
You're muted.
Sorry. Let's wait for the others to mention that. That's not yours or my purview to talk about that.
And Declan's like, what? What are you girls talking about? Smile. Okay.
Big
Women.
smile.
And he's like, he signs the places where she tells him to sign. He lets Barlow know that the supplies he was supposed to send back as part of the payment are already crated up and set aside over on the opposite side of where you guys are loading things at. So once you're done unloading, you should load those up into the cart and get those ready for travel back to Crystal Gate. And he says, be careful. These are some of the last handmade tools and armor pieces that I will ever make. Quite expensive. One of a kinds, almost.
At this point, Tirnel looks at the blacksmith and asks if he has any fancy longsword. Nope.
I have a few long swords that I've made for display but haven't quite sold yet. Usually I only make weaponry at a commission basis, but I do have a couple set aside that I think are quite unique if you would be interested.
Now we're talking. Are we talking of the magical?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Magical. What? I have no such inclinations. I just use it other people's magics to enhance my own smithing abilities.
Tirnel's gonna go ahead and inspect he's just browsing.
Yeah.
But
He's-
he's with the craftsmanship.
Yeah, he's got really well made. So he's got a couple ornate pieces that have got, you know, some fancy hilts, and you know, one that's got you know, a couple intricate patterns on the partial part of the blade, but those are more show pieces. And then he has another just really well made, nothing fancy appearance wise swords that are just, you know, a straight hilt with you know, or not hilt but guard, a straight guard, hilt guard, and you know, just really well made, a little bit long, maybe not to the length of a half, you know, bastard sword or a hand and a half sword or anything like that, but longer than your average long sword. But they're all really well balanced and pretty well made.
Also, Tirnel's gonna ask him if he asks the blacksmith if he's heard of what was the name? Orville the Magnificent.
Oh, Ortran?
Ortran.
He's gonna Tirnel's gonna ask the blacksmith if he's heard of Ortran the Magnificent.
You're cutting out a little bit. I didn't catch all that. Sorry.
Tirnel's gonna ask if he has heard of Ortran the Magnificent.
No. Is he? Should I have?
Tirnel is just gonna just say, well, I was just kind of wondering. I've been hearing about this guy, and I wanted to find out more about him.
What line of work's he in? What line of work is he in?
That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm trying to find out more information about this fella.
Well, you should ask around at the. Hold on, I got a tavern name here. I swear I do. I swear I do. Maybe I'm lying.
You're lying.
Oh, I could be lying.
You are a liar.
There we go. The Maiden and Candle. That's a excellent little not common, but a little inn over near the Temple Lumiere. It's a good place to grab a bite and some mead and find out what's going on about town.
Alright. Thank you for that information. At that point, Tirnel's gonna look toward Barlow and say, do we have everything, or we have enough time to actually go about the town?
It's like, yeah, let's get a room for the night. I'll stay with the wagons. I'll take them and get them put up at the inn, at the stable near the inn, and I'll stay there with them for the night myself. And you guys can just get a room.
Also, Barlow, if you don't mind me asking, do you know what goods we're going to be transporting back to town?
I think it's mostly the things that we're getting from Mr. Dacklin here, the armor stuffs, and don't forget the chest, party money for room and board. Okay, yeah, and mostly the armor stuffs, and he's made some tools and stuff that we're supposed to transport. But I think Tilda said we're supposed to pick up some spices that are grown local here and take them back to the city too.
Okay, so crystals and whatnot are not going to be transported on the way back, right?
No, this was a one-way journey.
Good.
You
And what have you decided to do with any costs? Tirnel, what have you decided to do with him?
Oh, with him?
Yeah.
I'll keep him tonight and keep an eye on him. Y'all don't worry about him.
Alright.
And once we get him back to Crystal Gate, we'll let the Merchants League decide.
At this point, Tirnel turns around toward the party and asks, I'm going to be headed toward this Maiden and Candle. Would anybody like to join? And he looks towards Bex and he says, I have a feeling you're going to be wanting some ale.
Bex notes his blue skin, looks at you, and wanders off down an alley somewhere.
Okay.
Bex's main purpose right now, just so you know, Damien, and can keep going, once he gets out of the party, he is going to attempt to find a purveyor of fine metallic weapons, so most likely exactly where we just were. Like, I'll just walk back around the building and come in. And I have kept my barrel of alcohol nearby. It's not on the wagon. I'm thinking about using this useless holy Jesus juice as trade bait. So
Nice.
I mean, it's not drinkable anymore. It's swill now. Refreshing swill, granted, but
This
swill.
reminds me. What have you guys decided as a group what you're going to do with treasure, gems, gold, the things that probably belong to other people, etc.?
It travels on our cart.
I just assumed that we had everything that we picked up so far thrown on a cart somewhere, and I was going to ask, like, is Barlow taking care of that, or are we supposed to do something with it?
Barlow's taking care of it, is what he said.
I know you and me, as Thomas, we had one chest for charity money, so we didn't even add up what was in it, and the other chest was we decided to just share some of that money, to cover like party expenses, so we didn't have to sleep in shitholes. That was what, last session when we found
I believe Barlow's paying for this. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, your room and board's covered by the league.
well, what they consider room and board.
Right. The cheapest rooms and 3 meals.
Which is 2 more than I'm used to. But yeah, my Bex's vote, because I'm assuming we would have talked about it. Bex's vote is that we just sell it and split it, and keep a small portion to build a. Bex is talking about the Pirates of the Land, you know, which are actually just caravans. But I'm not listening to you guys when you tell me that caravans already exist. So I want to build a trade fleet on land, and I want to save some of the money for that. But I don't call it a trade fleet. It's a pirate armada.
An armada.
Yeah, I want to build an armada on land of wagons. So, to carry goods from one side to the other and steal goods from other people. Politely and legally. But
Okay. That might be possible.
yeah.
Alright.
That was my vote.
So you guys go off to get your rooms. Bex, you want to buy a trident? Is that...
I am. Or I would like to. I am is like to buy trident.
Alright, let me see.
Because this javelin is just not like so out of game. I'm trying to reach that RP point where I can bond to it, and like I'm playing with my javelin and it just doesn't feel right anymore. I really need that bond to Tempest.
Roll a percentile.
These are never good.
Your odds are pretty good here. Yeah, you're good. He actually has one currently made,
All right.
available for sale, and you rolled high, so it's for book value. Alright, so you go back in to Declan. He's supervising getting this stuff unloaded or unpacked and doing some counts when you come around. So he's kind of got his back to you, not really noticing that you've left and come back.
Yeah. And I'm gonna like heft it and feel the weight. So it looks good, right? Like it would pass my inspection.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
properly made.
Is it ornate or simple?
It's, I mean, it's not just a piece of metal, right? It's a wooden haft with the outside points are barbed, right? It's got 3 points, but the outside 2 are barbed, real finely made, and the middle one's just basically a spear point, a long spear point, and it's pretty well balanced. You can definitely get the appropriate throw range out of it if you were to do so. And you know, you kind of feel it in one hand, it feels right. When you feel it, you know, when you got it in the other hand, you can definitely tell that you'll be able to do some pretty good work two-handed with it. You know, basically it's functional as a versatile weapon, so if you use it two-handed, you get a D8 damage instead of D6.
Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
But there's not like any engravings or carvings or anything like that that would weaken it.
Okay. I pick it up. I spin it a little bit. It feels kind of awkward, but way less awkward than the javelin did.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to call over.
Declan.
So yeah, Declan. But I'm not going to use his name because that's rude.
You're gonna call him half dwarf instead.
Half pint.
God. He's taller than you, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you short?
I'm very short.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I half pint.
He and you're blue also. Okay.
Yes, I am covered in tattoos that clearly say exile.
Which doesn't really mean anything to him, right? Since he's never lived in the
That would be fair. Yeah.
So to him, you're on the same ground there. But the fact that you had that chance and squandered it might not go well.
That's all right.
He's like, what can I do for you, exile?
This I would like to become mine.
My trident. That's a interesting piece. I had that made for a fellow a while back, but he never showed up to pick it up. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal since we're partially of the same heritage, and I'll give you. You can give me 5 gold for it.
See, there's a few key flaws. Specifically, this is very plain. Secondly, there's no like chain attached to the bottom. But I'll make you a deal. I will give you 1 gold and a barrel of the most refreshing, blessed by the light ale this side of Crystal Gate. I swear on my non-exiled brother's mother's grave.
So just a regular barrel is 2 gold.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably throwing away like 8 gold there.
So if you fill it with ale,
yeah, holy ale. And as one of the things that Bex would like to do is he would like to continue negotiations to get my I want an ornate trident. Get some decorations up there, some marks of tempest.
He explains, if you really want it to be a fine weapon, you wouldn't dare tarnish it that way because it weakens the metal.
Not the metal, the shaft. Carvings and what have you in the wooden bits.
And you're not capable of doing this yourself, dwarf?
I am, but I have this lovely barrel of holy ale. And I am no longer in need of holy ale.
And he kind of like takes a step, rewinds the conversation in his head, and he's like, "Did you say Tempest?"
I point to the turquoise earring.
Oh.
Which I guess blends in now.
Right? It's kind of camoed in your face. Well, I could do such 3 gold, the barrel, and I'll do your modifications for you. This time tomorrow, it'll be ready.
2.5 gold in the barrel, and you can keep what's inside the barrel too.
Were you going to drain it first?
The agreement was for the barrel previously.
You offered the entire contents. Come on, that was implied.
Yeah.
All right. He goes to give you like a full arm shake.
And how's his hands feel, Damien?
What?
How's his hands feel? Are they like soft or well worn like a blacksmith?
No, they're both. No.
They're both?
No, they're pretty rough. He's been a blacksmith pretty much his entire life, and he's maybe 100 years old, which is old for a half dwarf.
So I'll fork over half the cash now and half on pickup. I assume that's how it works, or is it all up front?
No, he's like, you give him what, a gold and a few silver.
In the barrel, yeah.
And he's like, no, you'll pay it all now.
Alright. Well, I put it all out on top of the barrel, slide the barrel over to him, and Bex will, after a moment, go, in case you get tired of this here holy brew, you should come join us at the inn, and you and me can sit back and learn a little more about true alcohol. Thinking top shelf human swill.
I'll see if I have time this evening. I'll make my way up there, but I doubt it'll happen. I have plenty of work to do getting my machines ready.
Well, luckily for all of us, that's going to be a performance roll because I'm flirting.
Oh.
Damn! I did not do so good.
Yeah, he didn't catch it. He's as oblivious as I was. And
he's not hot enough for a hero point.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, that probably would have been a disadvantage because his persuasion might not be the same, and he's really focused on getting this machines working, and now you've given him another task that he needs to do on top of that.
Absolutely.
So
I didn't say Bex was subtle. work at what he's doing.
Yep.
But there's something about the rough hands.
Oh, okay. Like he's had some rope between them.
You get it.
And he's going to be working on your shaft.
Oh god, no. Too much. Too much. Alright, so everyone else is by this time made their way through town. Thomas, you see what might actually be a more beautiful temple than the one in Crystal Gate, dedicated to Lumiere. There's some clerics walking the yards. The temple itself is, but the grounds aren't as big. They don't have the extra school and things like that as part of the campus. But the temple has got this long flowered archway, or not long walkway with the flowered arches, vines and stuff on the arches, multiple all the way through up to the entrance. And just past that, on the opposite side of the road, is the Maiden, I got the name wrong, Maiden Candle, which is probably named with the, maybe Bex is not the first person to use the candle reference in regards to the followers of Lumiere.
Yep.
It's not as
I'm gonna
original
find-
as he thought, or I stole it, one or the other.
I'm going to find a family that needs a place to stay and give them my room and board.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I'm staying at the church.
Alright. Yeah, yep. So yeah, you find a, looks like a pretty down on their luck man and woman who are kind of hanging out near the temple, as a lot of clerics of your faith are known to do things of this, so if people are looking for a handout, that's a good place to be. And they're pretty gracious. They're not like, see, I told you we would get a room if we were here. They were like, no, thank you so much. You're a blessing. Lumiere be with you, or Lumiere light your path.
Indeed.
And so we'll come back to that. Let's get everyone else to the bar. Tirnel and Philly are going to the bar, right?
Right.
And Tilda is not. She's apparently staying with Barlow, which I'm sure some people are getting suspicious about.
Yep.
So yeah, alright. The Maiden Candle. Notes. Got this shit. Oh yeah. I use a partial random generator for this, and for part of it, to fill the bar, and it gave me a incapered as a young female human named Hilda. So I decided not that. Since we already got a Tilda, that might be kind of confusing. So it's going to be Helga, but she's a halfling.
Okay.
And so it's a large single-story timber framed building. And once you eventually get there, Bex and Philly, you notice that the tables and chairs are dwarf wrought iron.
Good tables.
The accommodations, there's a single large room, and there's wooden cots for in the very small rooms that are available. But you don't know that they have cots yet, but you will eventually. And so when you get in, there are maybe 12 or so people already filled up into the or actually no, this is early in the afternoon, isn't it? So there is 5 people in the large room kind of sitting about. There's a couple dwarves, a human, an elf, and another halfling, in addition to the single barmaid, who is a halfling female with a brown top knot. Looks like she's kind of older in years for a halfling, middle-aged, and she's immediately, as soon as you come in, greets you. Welcome to the Maiden Candle. how can I help you today?
Well, first of all, I would like to. Tirnel would approach and um, ask the barkeep if she's heard of anyone by the name of Orkan the Magnificent.
Ortran.
Ortran.
Let me make a roll. I think there's a pretty good chance she has.
Look at you guys all committed to the storyline and advancing the party.
Yeah.
Bex
While
is
she's
like, I want to try
thinking, I'm gonna say, point me in the direction of the water pump because I'm gross.
The closest one would be out beside the Church of Lumiere, the Temple of Lumiere.
And I am going to poke you in the shoulder there and say, I'm off to the temple. I gotta take care of this. Because I'm really gross. I still have dog crystal bits all over me.
Tirnel's gonna oblige and nod and say, yeah, you need to go get them.
I remember Ortran. He used to run a little street gang around here, but I haven't seen him in a long time. Is he causing trouble?
Not anymore, bitch.
So, so he was a nuisance, is what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. His little gang, I think they were ran out of town, but I could be wrong about why they left. They weren't. They were pretty rowdy. It's one thing to be. It's one thing to be a cut purse. It's another to rough people up unnecessarily.
Well, at that, what Tirnel's gonna do is kind of look around in the bar. Does he see any of the guards or anything like that?
Definitely no guards right now. Although a couple of the people that are here are kind of pretty well decked out, I guess you would say, armor and stuff wise.
Is there like a notice board saying like a wanted board or something?
There is.
I'm gonna go. Tirnel's gonna go over to check that out. But before he leaves, he's gonna toss 5 silver towards the. Actually, he's gonna toss the gold over to the bartender, and he says, "I'm gonna start my tab out. I'll be back."
Oh, okay.
Some big tabs.
Yeah, it's a big tab.
Yeah.
They'll get you plenty of ale. So you do notice one of the people was wearing like full plate, and he's the human full plate, and it's the man. This is what happens when you play games before it's time to play D&D, and you don't get all your notes up correctly. I'll come back to that and tell you about the wanted board, because really what you want to know is there a wanted poster for Ortran, right?
Right.
And there is. It's with a reward of 50 gold for stopping his band and or reporting evidence that leads to his capture.
It doesn't say who do we need to report it to.
Yes. One moment on that. I finally got my notes here that I should have already had up. The paladin, oh okay, of Suche, which is the god of life. Sorry, I guess they gave away that he's a paladin, but it's kind of obvious. He's wearing full plate and he's like got a big symbol of Suche on his back. And
does it say where he would be located? And so
no. This is one of the patrons. Sorry.
Oh.
That you noticed. I was trying to clear that up before. And there is also sitting with him a female elf who's wearing some scale mail and has a big crossbow set beside her on the table. She short, kind of short, and silver hair and amber eyes. Anyway, The reward is to be taken to be claimed by Hormy, Hormi. See, head constabulary, constable of the constabulary. There we go. Head constable. Words, when put together, make different words. Head constable, Hormy.
At that point, Tirnel's gonna grab the poster, take it down, and he's gonna walk back over to the bartender and ask where you can find Hormy.
She gives you directions. It's more or less back where you were earlier, down by the blacksmith on that same stretch of town.
At that point, Tirnel says, "Keep the gold. I'll be back."
Okay.
And he's gonna go ahead and leave.
All right.
But on his way leaving, he's gonna stop by the temple to find
Thomas.
either Thomas or Philly.
Okay. So.
I'm bathing also.
Okay,
so.
I was gonna say, what are you doing? Are you
We're
playing?
bathing together, I guess. It's a little awkward.
I'm going to attempt to go find them. Just to find specifically going to be Philly because she's got the head of one of the. She's got the head of Warchan.
Oh, yeah, it was on the bike or on the javelin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Did the head get aged 2 years when it got hit by the splash?
No, only since it wasn't alive at the time. So
It's like we already necrotified it pretty hardcore.
are you still carrying that? I completely forgot about that.
I'm carrying it. Yeah.
Real conversation started.
I have never mentioned that I put it down.
Okay.
I must have slept with it in my hand.
Okay.
Is anyone really gonna question a dwarf that smells as bad as her, though?
And with such obviously unkemptness.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty gross, and I don't care if Tom, whatever his name is. I don't care if he's feeling awkward. I've got my own bucket, and I'm keeping most of my clothes on. I'm just trying to get the grossness off.
Does that mean she's got like 2 years worth of sweat built up on her?
No. 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 Well, in a way though, right? Because you got that wolf matting going on.
No,
sure
I have a fine, beautiful mane now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sure it takes a minute.
Yeah. Alright, so Tirnel wants you guys to go with, or at least Philly, to bring the head of Ortran? Is that where we're
I
at?
just find her and tell her I just need the head.
Awkward.
I need the head.
She doesn't find it any weird or uncomfortable at all. She has no idea that could be anything else.
Here's the head on the
She
stick.
gives him the head.
That's a good place for break 2, while Tirnel's asking for head. Let's go.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. We'll be right back. 5-minute break. Yeah, hang tight.
Alright, hey Dan.